What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, once again, Jamar84, and I'm here to give a review of Part 2 of BGC 10, Atlanta. Now, this part I thought was going to be like the bigger of the three parts, but this part really wasn't as interesting as I would have liked it to be, but there was still some good stuff, so I guess, we still have some stuff to cover. So the episode starts in conjunction where for the first part ended with Val pretending like she was unconscious because she got up like the next minute or what, I don't know. But she's taken off by the paramedics to the hospital. Tanisha comes out and says, they talk about the Valentina's okay, but she's not going to be returning with us right now. And Shannon and Rocky aren't going to be able to come out right now. So they're just kind of dealing with, just what was it? Nancy, Paula, Alicia, and Stephanie. Yeah. So Alicia comes out, and initially she sits next to Nancy, but Nancy's like, I don't want to sit next to this bitch. And Alicia's like, oh, well, damn. Like, Alicia looks surprised. So she was like, well, fuck you too, bitch, and got her little ass up and went over and sat next to Tanisha on her own little couch. And Nancy was like, psh, I don't like that bitch. So as Alicia is sitting there, she decides to change out her heels and into her sneakers. I'm like, girl, what you think you about to do? What are you doing, Alicia? This is funny to me. Like, are you about to try to pop off? Like, we saw you couldn't even pop off with a sneak attack, bitch. Girl, sit down. So Tanisha's asking all the girls, how does it feel, to have made it to the end of the house? And Stephanie spilled an interesting fact. She said that she had all intentions to fuck every girl in the house. I'm like, I'm sure she changed her mind when she saw Valentina. But they focused on, of course, the clips between her and Nancy. And I felt like I bet you that was kind of awkward for Drew to, this is his name, is it Drew? No, Dre, sorry. I'm sure that was awkward for Dre to look at because, like, that's your girl. And you watching her fuck other girls. Like, does the jealousy, does that work? I'm sure it does, but he made me turned on by it. I'm sure there's kind of like some confused emotion inside Dre at that moment, but they were showing all the pictures of, her and Nancy getting it on. Nancy being all crazy and attached, and Steph being like the nigga, like, I don't want this bitch, like, all up on me like this. This is creepy. And Tanisha told Stephanie, was it Stephanie? Yeah, she told Stephanie to ask what was it like on a scale of 1 to 10. And Stephanie was like, well, shit, ask Nancy. And then she'd ask Nancy, and she was like, a 9.5. When she said a 9.5, Stephanie hopped onto Nancy like, I was like, she practiced that. Like, that just looked too perfect. She was ready to pounce. She pounced on Nancy like a fucking kitten. And Tanisha's like, we should see a kiss for old time's sake and whatnot. And so they start kissing and getting all on the floor, and it just turns into like a big orgy. And I think it was Paula that was sitting next to them, and they was rolling this shit. She like they get on the floor, and Dre's like, well, shit, I'm gonna hop into the action too. So he tries to get all up on Stephanie. I'm not sure what he's doing. It looked like he was kissing the back of her head. I couldn't really see it, but it was weird. Whatever. And Tanisha asked Stephanie something along the lines of, how do you, like, Stephanie, you got some good game. Like, how do you do it? How do you turn a girl out that's never been with girls before? Stephanie was like, she's been with girls before. Like, yes, she has. She's been with girls before. And Nancy's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about. Where am I? Like, she just played straight stupid. Like, Nancy, we know you've dealt in some pussy, girl. We know you've dealt in some pussy. So this is the part of the reunion, which is like the mid part, which is supposed to be like the bulk, but I was really confused kind of throughout the portion because I couldn't almost follow a lot of what was being said. And, this is when, Shannon and Rocky first came out, and Shannon is turned, okay? Shannon is turned all the way the notch to max, okay? She come out, that's Bully 101, such and such. Shannon was talking a whole bunch of stuff. I just didn't understand a lot of what she said. Like, I really think that she was just kind of drunk and on the ooh-wee when she came out. You really never got bullied. For real, for real. They just played you. And they was just doing what bad girls in the Bad Girls Clubhouse do. I'm sure, like, all the rest of the viewers, we were frustrated to watch Shannon just sit there, watch people talk shit about her, especially watch her when Alicia threw all that water in her face, and then, I'm sorry, of all people in the house, I couldn't get punked by Alicia. I just couldn't. I would refuse. That bad built bitch just needs to get her ass whooped one good time. And she did, by Rocky. Thumbs up for Rocky, especially getting that business you tried to give a sneak attack. So Alicia deserved all that. All that. Shy fly in this building. Girl, I think I read you already in that video, so we're gonna move it right along. We're gonna move right along. Now, Alicia, this is the part, this is why, furthermore, why I do not like this bitch. Alicia says she does not believe in jumping. And Tanisha was just as confused as I was. Like, I'm confused. You say you don't believe in jumping, but we can clearly see clips of you jumping Rocky. And she was like, well, why did you do it? Why did you do it? This bitch says she felt the need to jump Rocky because she told a bartender who doesn't even know y'all, whose real opinion doesn't even matter. She told the bartender that she was the one that jumped Rocky. Who cares? How does her talking shit, like the rest of y'all don't talk shit, how does her talking shit to a guy who doesn't even matter and make a reason for you to jump her? What? See, that's exactly why Alicia and Shannon were best friends, because their logic for doing the things that they do is so haphazard, and I think that's borderline insanity. I think these bitches really feel justified for their actions for jumping people, like it was okay. And no, that doesn't make you a bad bitch. That makes you look weak as hell, especially when you really try to talk about you gonna go out with the biggest bang in Bad Girls Club history and gonna try to sneak attack a bitch, missing half your punches, hitting the damn concrete, and then getting turned over and your ass whooped, and then gonna talk about some shy fly in this building. Girl, just have all the seats that there can ever be sat in, because Alicia, you just through this whole season was just awful. I could not stand you, and I just couldn't wait for somebody to kick your ass. So this is the part of the reunion that was really just exaggerated and just really should have been a 2-minute discussion for the most part, because we pretty much already understood what was happening, and that's this whole Paula versus Shannon thing. As far as Paula clearly said that she doesn't like Shannon. She felt that Shannon was fake, and she said it to Shannon's face. This wasn't a secret. That's no behind the scenes, none of that shit with Paula. That's what I always expected about Paula. And they fought. They had their little tussle. Shannon didn't really too much fight back, so it looked like, she got her ass whipped. But I mean, like, she didn't. I mean, to me, it doesn't really count. Like, if you're just sitting there just laughing at the shit and you're not really too much fighting back, like, to me, it doesn't really count. Paula, I can't even give you that one. Like, and then right after, she felt bad because she don't really like to put her hands on people, I guess, and she, felt guilty, and so that's why she decided to, make amends with Shannon. And Shannon made it seem like she was scared and kind of threw her hands up and stuff, and Paula got all in arms about it. Like, she tried to make it seem, Paula got mad because it made it seem like she was a punk, and she really wasn't. And I'm just like, okay, we get it. Shannon, she wasn't a punk. You was just standing up for yourself, and Paula clearly made it known that she didn't like you, and y'all just had your tussle, and that should have been it. They dragged it. They made it seem like so boring. Like, while Paula and Shannon were arguing, Tanisha and freaking Alicia was back there snacking on goddamn whipped cream. That's why, like, it was just so drawn out for no reason. So then stuff got good, because out of nowhere, here come Nancy talking about where was you when Rocky was getting jumped? Where was you at? And then Shannon posts up like, bitch, what? And then she's sitting there talking stuff. Shannon grips Nancy by her dress, flung her, and just see how she tossed her in slow motion. That bitch flew. She flipped around and spun and fell to. Shannon manhandled that bitch, and she got up and didn't even hardly know what to do. The security had her. She was just Nancy's so light. Shannon was right when she said that. She said that in the confessional during the show that Nancy is really light, and she may not have like a lot of weight to her punches because the security was just flinging her around and everything. So they took her out. They took Shannon, not Shannon, but they took Nancy to the back. And as soon as Nancy starts to come back, she sneak attacks Shannon from behind. Rocky tosses her off of her like, we ain't finna have that shit. We ain't finna have that shit. And Nancy's sitting there popping off. And Tanisha's looking at, talking to Shannon and them like, y'all gonna keep doing this. We're gonna have her kicked out. And I was with Shannon. She was like, this bitch just attacked me from the back. Did y'all see that? Now, you know what? I got my first strike for bum rushing Valentina. Okay, cool. But you can't give me another strike because this bitch just attacked me from the back. And after she did the sneak attack, for some reason, Nancy felt the need to grab Tanisha's whipped cream and started coming to her like, what are you going to do with the whipped cream? And Tanisha was, asked Rocky, why would she decide to get, so close to Shannon? And of course she did, because Shannon was the one that decided to, get to know her and, give her a real chance. And then Alicia comes and admits and was like, Rocky, I tried to give you a chance. So I'm sitting here like, I missed that. I don't ever recall Alicia and Rocky ever being cordial for real. Did I miss something? Somebody let me know because I was looking at Alicia like, girl, stop lying. So then Jen comes out. The wannabe Tierra So Bougie from season 7. And so Jen comes out and then Shannon starts off out like as she's always done through this entire reunion, popping off from the jump. She was like, who is that? Like, who is she? Was she even on the season? But Jen takes off her heels. She goes and says hi to Tanisha and, they give the greeting and whatnot. Jen's like, I had to take care of something. She takes off her heels, walks up to Shannon, and you'll see Rocky was looking like, Shannon, get up. Here she come. So Shannon got up and was like, bitch, what? And Jen was, after they was talking and whatnot, Jen was like, trust and believe, I ain't even worried about you. I ain't worried about you. And then Shannon stepped back like, you was worried about the pockets. You was worried about the hot pockets, though. You was worried about them, and you ain't even buy them. I was like, ooh, damn. Ooh, damn, girl. That was funny. And Jen knew she got clocked. That's why she got up there and was like, that's why your car got repoed. I'm like, girl, no. What you just said doesn't even hold a candle to the shade that Shannon just threw. She's like, but you care about the hot pockets, though, and you ain't even buy them shits. So after she talks about him getting the car repoed and such, Jen walks up, and then Shannon, looks like Shannon kicked her in the pussy, to be completely honest with you. That's what it looked like. And then she, once again, just like Nancy, Shannon got that grip and tossed that bitch. But she ain't completely tossed her like she did Nancy. She threw her and then got her in what looks like a headlock. But that's pretty much the end of this part. It wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be. But, whatever. It's all good. But part 3, when Janae and Nikki come out, and Nikki, that fight between Nikki and what I think is Jen, they was blah, 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 standing right next to each other, just going ham. But that should be really good. I can't wait to see that. But for those of you guys that leave, comments, and those guys that watch and, share my videos, and, I really, I don't think y'all really understand. I really appreciate that. I really had no idea that, me just coming talking about all these ratchet bitches, people would watch. I never really thought about, people watching. So those that do watch, even though I know there's not that many of you, I think I'm just about to push 600 subscribers. I love y'all. Y'all really just keep me doing this. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for, the people who consistently comment on my channel and consistently tweet and share my videos. So I really appreciate that. And, shout out, of course, to, everybody that shares, especially, Ashley and Bondi Blue. I know I probably annoy y'all with my videos, but they don't, I guess they don't see it in mine. So I really love the support. But like I said, I love y'all, and I really appreciate everything that you guys do. I really love, comments. That's the best part, is comments, because I get to get you guys, commentary and what you guys think. And also, make sure you tweet me on my Twitter, y'all. Follow my Twitter. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. This one's run long enough. Bye-bye.